Hello and welcome to From the Roots Up, where we are building our homestead little by little from the roots up. It's August and we are participating in the Every Bit Counts challenge put on by Three Rivers Homestead. And every day in the month of August, we're going to be putting a little bit of food away so that hopefully by the end of August, we have quite a bit put back and stored. We hope you'll follow along and maybe preserve some things along the way with us. Today, we are going to be canning bread and butter pickles. I'm getting my pickles recipe from this Ball Book of Complete Canning. It's an excellent guide to canning and preserving. It's got lots of great recipes and basic step-by-step walkthrough of exactly how to can. But this is where this bread and butter recipe is coming from. I'll be sure to link that down below so y'all can find it. First of all, we need cucumbers. So I have a big pile of cucumbers. This recipe calls for 10 cups of cucumbers. I don't think I have quite 10 cups of cucumbers. We're gonna cut them and find out. I'm gonna do rounds instead of spears, just because that's easier for right now. And we'll see how many we have and how we need to gauge the recipe accordingly. So first of all, we just need to slice up our cucumbers. And there's not really a necessary rhyme or reason to this, just however thick you like your pickles, that's how thick you cut them. And you can cut them with a serrated knife, or you can cut them with a straight knife. You can also cut them into spears, like I already said, if you like pickle spears. Just make sure that whatever jar you have is tall enough to fit the spears that you're putting in it. When you do it in rounds like this, you don't really have to worry about that part. All right, and it looks like I pretty much have almost exactly 10 cups. I didn't think that was gonna be enough, but that made it. Now it calls for 4 medium-sized onions, but these onions are massive. I got these at the farmer's market and they're so big. I'm gonna just do 3 of them. So we need 3 onions thinly sliced. I'm gonna go ahead actually and pour my cucumbers in here because this is where we're gonna mix the cucumbers and onions together, and we're going to put some cold water and salt on top. But then I can go ahead and put my onions in here with them. And as you can see, ooh, these onions are already making my eyes start to water. All right, so the next step is we're going to put half a cup of pickling salt in here. And pickling salt is just basically pure salt, regular salt without any anti-caking ingredients or any iodine. And it's also fine. A lot of the other salt that you get is a thicker salt, but this is a fine grade salt without any additives, and really that's the only difference. You could probably find some not labeled pickling salt that would work just fine. So we're going to put our half a cup in here, and then I want to make sure I mix this thoroughly. The onions and the cucumbers and the salt all together. All right. Now that I have mixed all of that together, I'm going to cover it with really cold water and let it set for 2 hours. And I'm actually going to get some ice and go ahead and put some ice on top just to ensure that this is cold. It's really hot outside, and so our groundwater is just not that really cold water, and I just want to make sure it gets chilled enough. All right, this should be good enough, so I'll see you back here in 2 hours. All right, so we are back, and now we are going to mix up the brine for the pickles. First, we need 3 cups of white vinegar. Then 2 cups of granulated sugar. We need 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds. One teaspoon of celery seeds. And 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Now I'm going to turn the burner on, and we are going to heat this until it boils. Now I've got a couple of things going on. Finally, we have this boiling, but also while I'm preparing this mixture to go in the jars, I'm going to go ahead and heat the jars so that they're close to the same temperature as the contents I'm going to put in them. It prevents cracking and breaking. So let's go ahead and turn the burner on and get them simmering. And now that those are heating up, this is boiling, and what I'm going to do is take the mixture of the cucumbers and the onions, I'm going to drain it, and then I'm going to put it in here and boil it again. I'm going to make sure this gets nice and coated in all the brine. And then I'm just going to bring this back up to a boil. Okay, so both of these are done. So now what we're going to do is take the jars out of the hot water, one at a time, being very careful to dump the water out. Now the recipe calls for 5 pints, but I went ahead and heated up 6 jars just in case, because I don't want to be stuck without an extra jar. And we're just going to take one at a time and fill these jars. We're going to leave, it says 1/2 inch of headspace. The headspace is from the tippy top of the jar to wherever. So 1/2 inch. I believe on these jars, from the top of the lip to the bottom is 3/4 inch. So if we do it just above that bottom rim, we'll be right. We want to make sure we fill up to there with brine. And leaving that proper headspace. Then I want to take a knife or something and just make sure there's no air bubbles. Kind of mash in there. And make sure all your cucumbers are down below the brine. And I'm going to add a little bit more brine. Not too much. Now I want to wipe off the rim. And I'm going to tighten this finger tight and then just a 1/4 twist more. I want to tighten it too tight. Then this will go back in that water. And the same thing. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, I did actually need that extra jar after all, so I'm glad I went ahead and did that. So now we have about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of water above our jars in this warm water, and we are going to take it over and bring it to a boil and then process it for 10 minutes. Let it sit, turn it off, let it sit on the stove for about 5 minutes after that. Then we can take the jars out. All right, so our pickles have boiled for 10 minutes, sat on the stove for another 5, and now they're ready to come out. And we're gonna bring them out and then just cool down. Our water here is very, very mineral rich. And so a lot of times when I pull these out of the water bath, you can just see the white residue on them. So I'll wash them off. You can hear, if you listen, the cans popping, which is kind of fun. That's them sealing up. But that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, with pickles, I usually leave them, unless they're refrigerator short set pickles that you can eat right away, I usually leave my pickles for at least 3 weeks because it takes that long for them to really absorb the flavor, and they taste a whole lot better if you leave them a little longer. But these should be ready to go in a few weeks and delicious. And day 1 of our Every Bit Counts challenge is down and in the books. Please be sure to like this video and go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be coming to you every day with a new preservation project in the month of August. Thanks for joining us.